Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be taking a look at the NECA quarter scale City Hunter Predator from the film Predator 2. Okay, so we're going to start this review off by taking a look at the box first. It is a tall box because it is a quarter scale figure, and it does have a light up LED feature. Down at the bottom you have the Predator 2 logo, Special Edition City Hunter. I believe the Special Edition is because of the light up feature. You have just kind of a continuation of the figure on the side. Here is the back with some really cool artwork there. Here is a read up of the figure. If you want to pause the video, feel free to do so. Here is the other side, just kind of going over some of the product features that this figure comes with, which I will show you all in the review. And just up at the top of the box, we have the Predator 2 logo. Okay, so let's take a look at the actual figure. Okay, so what I typically do first is go over the accessories that figures or some of the pieces I collect come with. However, most of them are already on the figure, and this is the infamous figure that I've mentioned multiple times in various reviews that had broke on me. So I'm trying to keep the figure fairly stationary. However, he does come with an interchangeable hand. It is a flat hand, but you can see some of the nice detail work with the skin textures on there, and like these little spike pieces on the knuckle joints. It's very glossy. Some parts of the figure have that gloss continuation overcoat throughout it to make it look like the Predator is sweating or, you know, perspiring, something of that nature. So it is for the left hand, and the function of this, which I'll show you now since I mentioned accessories, is there is a magnetic piece on the left shin guard armor here, and this is his net launcher, which is really cool. Like I said, it's on a magnet, and you can fit the hand into the slot here if you choose to display the City Hunter Predator with this this weapon here. And you can see it's nice because the thumb reaches what I would assume would be the activation feature on the net launcher, but you can see some of the cool details here as well. It looks like a metal, but it has some bronze and coppers to go along with the theme of the armor of the City Predator, which I thought was pretty nice. So I'm going to take this back off and put it back onto his leg. The magnet stays pretty good. It's not the strongest magnet, so just be careful when you are moving the figure around. It doesn't drop off and you don't end up losing it somewhere. He does come with the combi stick or spear, the extendable and retractable spear that the City Hunter introduced to us in Predator 2. It's got some really nice detail on there as well. However, there is no functionality of this particular accessory. It does stay in a retracted position, but I certainly thought it was cool that they included this with the figure. Like I said, I'm not going to take it out of his hand. I don't want to fiddle around too much with this Predator because I will go over, you know, what broke on it if you haven't heard me mention it previously. But down here you have another accessory as well. This is the electro disc, or again, I'm not sure the correct term for it, but this piece pops out. The holster is made out of a softer plastic, so it can kind of fit in there. There's some corresponding holes and patterns on the underside of the disc as well as this plastic holster piece, so you kind of have to line them up for this piece to fit in there snugly. But again, you have that copper bronze coloring on it. Also, this is not extendable. It stays in this circular retracted position. So let's see, he also has the extendable wrist gauntlet blades, and they do extend out pretty good. Let me see if I can get them with one hand. So you can see there's some nice reach to them, which is very cool. Another accessory here is this little piece is able to come up. Let me see if I can get this up here. That's what she said. I believe it's just one whole piece. You kind of gotta mess with it, and I apologize. I'm shaking all over the place trying to do this with one hand. Let me see if I could put the camera down and get this up so you guys can get a closer look. Okay, so here it is in the upward position, which is cool. I really don't tend to display this figure with that up, but it's certainly a cool feature. I'm not sure, I think he shoots like darts out of that or something, but it does go back down into like a forward, and it clicked in position there. And you also have the wrist bomb, which is cool. There are LED features on the inside. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to show you the LEDs on the gauntlet or the helmet, just because you're not going to be able to see it at all in this lighting. But that is really cool. And let's just do a kind of general glance at some of the details of the mask here. I like the texturing that they've done. It's very pitted. It looks like it's worn. A departure for sure from the Jungle Hunter Predator's mask. Same with the shoulder plasma cannon. It's much less invasive. The Jungle Hunter had that enormous back piece coming off, very bulky. This certainly is a sleeker style. And take a look at the dreadlocks here. He has the clasps, a lot of nice reds and silvers and gold. They are made of a softer plastic, so you can kind of move them slightly out of the way if you're trying to articulate the neck portion of the figure. And just down to some of the shoulder armor. And it does have some like green discolorations. I'm not sure if the camera will pick up on different portions of his armor, because as we know, when copper oxidizes, it turns that almost like turquoise green color. You have the netting, which is actual netting that we commonly see with the quarter scale Predator figures, which is really always a plus. Some cool, speckling of the paint to make the skin look spotted, and just some nice overall brush and paint work to give the torso and the skin in general just a little more pop and a little more detail that we as collectors all really appreciate. So here's the back portion of the armor here. I do have him on one of these Kaiser figure stands just for a little added support. Coming back over here, he does come with like a satchel, which looks like it would be made of like some kind of bone and leather material. It is plastic though, and it's hanging on a very thin string here off his side. So I would just be careful that you don't tug on it or anything, because it's probably apt to break. Here is like loincloth material. It is made of a softer plastic. It is hanging on by a thin string, so again, be cautious. Okay, so now what happened with this figure, my little history here. I was trying to get the figure in a more dynamic pose, and I wasn't pushing anything too hard, but I was just trying to get the hips to flex outward a little bit, and I, totally my fault. I guess, I just did it the wrong way, and that whole hip joint in there snapped off. So then I did another stupid thing and decided to use Gorilla Glue to secure that joint back together, and I, should have thought ahead, because Gorilla Glue does expand when it dries, and it dripped down onto his leg and the netting there. And I'm not gonna pick that off because it is on the netting, and it's just gonna totally shear off that netting part, and I really don't wanna ruin the figure more than it already has been ruined. It's not a huge deal. Seeing it from a distance, and when you're kind of just glancing over some of the other figures that I have standing next to this one, you don't really pick up on it. It does look like he had a little bit of a happy accident down there, but predators. Down here you have the knee pads, and there is an elastic that keeps them on, so they are movable. You could adjust them slightly. Taking a look at the feet and the shin guards. Really cool. Again, really nice job by NECA with the detail work on the skin. So now I'm going to show you that this mask does come off to place the batteries inside for the light up feature for his targeting system. So I'm going to show you that right now. Okay, so here is the helmet, and here is the underside, where you have to remove that little screw there, insert the batteries, and you can see the wiring on the inside here, and those wires run to the targeting system, which is here. You can kind of make out those three little holes there, and to activate those lights, you can see this cutout portion of the helmet here. You just press that inward, and that should activate the light up feature. So there are some pegs here on the inside, and they just insert onto the holes on this grotesque looking piece of plastic here. But yeah, just to give you guys an idea of how it would function a little bit there. So anyways, guys, that is kind of my quick overview of the NECA quarter scale City Hunter Predator from Predator 2. Maybe in the future I would pick another one of these up. Kind of debating, just because, I'm really bummed that had happened. But I would really love if NECA, I think somebody commented on one of the Predator reviews that I did, that if I knew if NECA was releasing or planning to release any new or updated quarter scale Predator figures. Not that I know of. I haven't been paying too close attention to NECA recently. However, I would love for them to do a quarter scale Predator from the Predators film. Not the Predator. I could really do without that. But maybe the Falconer or the Berserker Predator in quarter scale would be really cool. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you on the flip side.